Hey guys, I'm going to attempt to film this video again. I tried to film it before and I realized that I was getting really off topic. Anyway, this video is about sort of my late reaction to Trump winning the presidency. But it's also just, I guess, about how for the first time that I can remember, I'm really disillusioned with the American political process. I'm not going to mention anything in here. I'm not going to mention who I voted for or exactly like what my policies are. So there shouldn't be anything in here that will offend anyone. But just seeing how difficult this 2016 election has been, I just wanted to like record my thoughts about it. So the thing is, I've been voting since the 2004 election, so that's the past 12 years. I turned 18 and therefore could vote in 2003, and in 2004 was the presidential election. I have had times where I'm super politically active, and I've had times, probably more often than not, where, I mean, I usually go vote, but I don't get involved at all. I came from my dad, who would always vote straight ticket Democrat, and later in life became a Republican, to my mom, who has never registered to vote and doesn't believe that votes count. So I got two varying views growing up. My own politics are kind of a mix of both parties, and some ideas that don't fit into either. I can't say that there's any party that completely fits me. You know, like when Obama was in office, well, I guess he technically still is, but I agreed to some of the things he did. Some of the things that I thought he had good ideas about, once they were put into place, I was like, okay, this is not what I asked for. And other things, you know, I didn't agree with at all. And looking at the different candidates this election season, that was kind of the same thing. There didn't really seem to be a good choice. I didn't like Hillary. I didn't like Trump. I didn't really like any of the third-party candidates either. And I guess part of why I'm so disillusioned right now is just because of two things. One is how the primaries went, and two is how the actual election went. I somehow just never thought Trump would win, and about a month before the election, I took a road trip back home, because I'm in a city right now, so it's pretty blue, it's pretty insulated. There's a few Trump signs around here, but for the most part, either people are not political at all, or I saw like Clinton signs. I can't say I actually saw any third-party signs. But then, when I went home, I drove around a huge area. I went on that road trip for the family reunion. I don't think I ever saw one Clinton sign the entire time. They were all Trump. And the Trump signs were everywhere. I get that that area is traditionally conservative, but that doesn't mean necessarily that they're going to vote for Trump, because he's not like a ordinary Republican. He's just kind of his own thing. So I guess when I saw that, I realized, okay, well, you know, maybe this election is going to be a lot closer than the media is telling us, because they always said, oh, it's like neck and neck, or Hillary was leading. I want to jump back a little bit. Sometime last summer 2015, I jumped on the Bernie Sanders bandwagon. Now, I was never super active. I never phone banked for him. I never donated money. I didn't get that involved. I had a bumper sticker that I never actually put on my car, but it was... I supported most of the things that Bernie said. Again, not all. I'm not the kind of person that just wholeheartedly supports any candidate. But I think Bernie his message was closer to my beliefs than any of the other candidates were. And those were the beliefs and values that I grew up with. But the area that I learned those things from has changed. So it's almost the entire foundation of my beliefs is now gone, and I'm just out here with those beliefs on my own. In the 2000 election, West Virginia, the state I'm from, went from solid blue, which they had voted for Democrats since the 1860s, to solid red, and they've been solid red ever since. And there was a very palpable change in attitude, local government. I can't explain why it happened, but there was, I mean, it just did a complete 180 at that point. And I was, I guess, more raised with some older folks that were still of the Dixiecrats kind of thing. I can't say, I mean, right now, yes, I'm registered as a Democrat, but I want to unregister as part of Demexit. I registered as a Democrat to vote for Bernie Sanders in the primaries. I had been an independent, and as far as Trump, I mean, all we can really do now is see what happens. You know, he's gone back on almost all of his campaign promises, and that seems to be good. But on the other hand, the people he's appointed to his cabinets are probably some of the worst people he could have appointed. So who knows what will happen? I mean, I guess just wait and see. Not to mention that Jill Stein, and now just today, Hillary Clinton announced that she's going to be backing Jill Stein to try to have a national recount to show the Electoral College that she actually won. And then I don't even know what's going to happen if they decide that Clinton's getting into office. I don't know. I mean, I got to say this whole thing. I mean, I'm actually really afraid. I'm afraid of the chaos that it's going to cause. I have already seen, I mean, personally, a lot of the damage that a lot of people have been emboldened in their hatred and just assholishness since Trump won. I'm talking about my own family here. And I'm afraid of what might happen. You know, if the Electoral College does, I don't think there's a good chance, but if they do choose Hillary, you know, I'm afraid of, like, a civil war breaking out. So I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know that there was a lot of stuff leading into this election that was, like, just shady. And I know it's politics, and that's pretty much the story of politics, but a lot shadier than normal, at least for American politics. You know, did Bernie Sanders actually win the primaries? I don't know. Was there voter fraud for Hillary? Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's not really even something that can be debated. What really bothered me is that the way the media covered it, or didn't cover things, the way that these voter irregularities were rampant, and yet didn't matter if you could prove it happened. Nothing was ever done. Primaries weren't redone. You know, people weren't. They didn't get in trouble for doing what they did. I mean, it just continued to happen over and over and over again. And you know, now we have found out for sure the Democratic primaries were rigged. We have found out, you know, all this stuff, and in the end, I do feel like Bernie sold out, and it really disappointed me. He was really the first politician I believed in and really trusted. My lack of trust in him came just before his, well, he never totally conceded, but I guess we'll call it his concession. He had said on a talk show the day before that he absolutely was not going to concede, that we were going to take it all the way to the convention, and he had talked for weeks about how at the convention we had a good chance of getting some things overturned and he would become the nominee. So I think it was on that, I can't remember what days they were, but it was like on one day he said he wasn't, and then the next day he said he might, and then like the day after that he conceded. And I'm like, what the hell, Bernie? Like, you had us all revved up. We probably could have overturned things at the convention, and yet you just gave up. And then on top of that, you told us to vote for Hillary, which you pointed out to us how bad Hillary is. Like, we're not going to do that. Some did. A lot of us didn't. And I'm confused. You know, so I guess the point of this video is I'm so disillusioned with American politics, and and then the other thing is, you know, what's going to happen in the future with Trump. I remember when Obama got into office, I remember being excited. The change that he promised didn't come, but things didn't get bad either. I don't really remember when George W. Bush took office. I mean, I was a sophomore in high school. I don't remember caring or knowing enough to be fearful about it. But I definitely am now. I'm fearful of what will happen with Trump. And I'm not one of the ones out there rioting. I'm not saying we should do that. But I guess it's just kind of a wait and see. And hope that we can come together and compromise again. Make America compromise again. That's what it comes down to. And that's what we should be doing. And I hope that somebody that is out of the box, like Trump or like Bernie would have been, I hope that they are able to bring America together, because it seems like every election we're more and more polarized, and that's not going to lead anywhere good. So, make America compromise again. Should really be the slogan for anybody who really wants to bring the country together. And I hope that Trump will be able to do that. So, you know, more than likely he's going to take office, and don't really have any choice but to give him a chance and just see how it goes, you know. Yeah, just see how it goes. There's nothing else you can do. So, guys, this is probably going to be my only ever political video, so please don't unsubscribe because of this. I don't really talk about politics very often, and yeah, probably won't talk about it again on my channel, but I just wanted to record this. So thanks for watching. Make sure to click that subscribe button. I'll have some more videos coming out here within the next week, and then hopefully I'll get back on track of posting weekly again. So thank you guys, and make America compromise again.